What is up, guys? In this video, I'm going to talk about my PlayStation 5 library, some game recommendations for you, and which games that I've been playing the most on the PlayStation 5. We're going to go through my physicals and some of my digitals as well, and I can tell you which games are the best to play for the PlayStation 5. Let's jump right in. First and foremost, let's start with Hogwarts Legacy. My personal favorite game of 2023 is Hogwarts Legacy, so definitely a great place to start. This is the deluxe edition, so that means I get like some extras in there as well. I don't think I ever downloaded these extras, but man, I played so much of this game, got about up to 70% of the way through. So I played a lot of hours on this game, so I highly recommend it. If you like Harry Potter, if you like just being a wizard in Hogwarts and exploring the Harry Potter world itself, definitely a great RPG and so much fun, like just so many different elements. Like it's an open world, learning brand new spells, you can fly with a broom, complete quests, you got side quests, awesome missions, and sort of main quest content as well. And so many items to like find, and the castle is massive. Like you just go around, roam around the castle for hours. So it really is a lot of fun, so I highly recommend Hogwarts Legacy. Next one, Elden Ring. So I mainly play this game on the Xbox, but I also picked it up for the PlayStation 5. At first, found it really hard to get into, but definitely turned into my personal game of the year of 2022. So this one is definitely a must-have for myself. It's definitely one of the best RPGs ever. It's like a Souls game, but it's not as hard as your normal sort of Dark Souls and stuff like that. It's quite easy to sort of first get into, in a sense where it's like, okay, it's a little bit easier than Dark Souls, but you will still get absolutely destroyed in this game. And it's a lot of fun. Like I like the sort of open world main quest line as well. I didn't get that far into the game, but the time that I had with the game was a lot of fun. Just like the challenge of trying to beat dragons and, you know, complete dungeons, but also trying to just beat all these bosses. Like it's just quite a challenging game, but you definitely feel like a lot of excitement once you finally beat these bosses. And it's almost like you feel like a sense of achievement when you actually overcome all the bad bosses and stuff like that. So definitely a worthwhile game to play to challenge yourself, but also really fun. And next one, Spider-Man Miles Morales and Spider-Man Remastered as well. So this game was the reason why I bought the PlayStation 5 in the first place. So I wanted to just swing around on the web and play like the original Spider-Man Remastered the most. Both games look absolutely amazing on the PlayStation 5. And the thing I like the most is just the combat looks amazing. Didn't get that far into the story, but I just enjoyed just like swinging around, and it's really like satisfying to just swing around New York and all the buildings. So that's sort of my thoughts on both games. I'm definitely excited for Spider-Man 2 to come out this year. It's going to be absolutely awesome. Definitely game of the year for 2023, I hope. So hopefully those will be really good, but Insomniac Games definitely bring really awesome stuff out. So the next one is God of War. This game is one of the best PlayStation 5 games you can get currently, because it's this sort of straightforward, not open world RPG sort of thing where you're switching between the two main characters. So we've got Kratos and then we have his son. What is really cool is just the combat. We have so many cool like different items, and we can level up in so many different unique ways as well. It's so cool, and it's an epic long storyline, and it's really high paced at first, slows down a little bit, but then it picks up because you have to fight all the Greek gods, and it's just epic. Like the battle with Thor is equally challenging and high intensity, but it's also really awesome at the same time. So that's sort of what you have to deal with in the first part of the game, and then the further you go, the more gods that you have to fight, like Odin and stuff like that. So it's definitely a worthwhile game to get. Next one actually really surprised me. So this is Uncharted Legacy of Thieves Collection. So I started playing A Thief's End. Never played Uncharted ever before, and I felt like almost right at home in this world. Like I really connected with the world design and really enjoyed it. And I have to play more of like Uncharted, A Thief's End. So it's definitely worthwhile getting. Definitely one of the better remastered games for the PlayStation 5. There's a lot of really great remastered PlayStation 5 games, but this one just really surprised me with how good it is. So if you haven't actually played this new Uncharted remastered game, I actually highly recommend it for you. The next one is Jedi Survivor. Now this is the deluxe edition and it was quite expensive. It was something like $120 and I just haven't played it enough. I actually played Jedi Fallen Order for a little bit of time and I really enjoyed the gameplay, and the time that I played with Jedi Survivor, really enjoyed sort of the storyline, and the cutscenes were like movie-like. It was really cinematic and it was definitely a high budget project. So Jedi Survivor is a really good game. And that's all I pretty much have to say because I haven't played this game enough, but I'm definitely excited to like sort of delve back into the game. I like the idea of just the lightsabers, also the storyline, but also just like exploring the world and finding all these brand new creatures. It's kind of like Pokemon where you kind of discover and analyze all these creatures and learn their sort of abilities and stuff like that. So there's lots and lots of stuff to play in this game, and I'm very excited to delve more into Jedi Survivor in the future. The next one, the most expensive game on this list, WWE 2K23 Deluxe Edition. This was $149.95. Man, it was just not worth it for the price because you get like all the characters, all the unlockables, everything like that, but it was just not worth it because I haven't been playing it enough, and for that price, I wish it was just more to play with the game. Like the GM mode, it was sort of locked. If you wanted to like do a fatal four-way for a belt, that was impossible to do, so that's why I didn't really play as much. The GM mode was kind of limited and kind of weirdly designed as well. I don't actually like the new UI for the GM mode. I kind of prefer like the 2006 SmackDown vs. Raw, 2007 sort of SmackDown vs. Raw sort of vibe. If you just like sandbox wrestling games, like this is great, and it's all up to date with all the latest characters and all the latest unlockables, but for me, like, it's just not worth that price, honestly. The next game also surprised me, Dead Island 2. The time that I did play with this game, it was a fantastic RPG with a lot of just hacking and slashing, and that's pretty much it with the game. You're in like Hollywood or something like that. You're just hacking and slashing zombies. So a lot of fun and really surprised me with how great it is. So Dead Island 2, if you haven't picked it up yet, like, I know it's an R-rated 18 plus game, so if you're over 18, definitely give it a go. Like, it's actually a lot of fun. Next one, Days Gone. This is actually a PlayStation 4 game, but I thought I'd bring it into the mix because it's an underrated game for the PlayStation 4. Now, the time I had with it, did enjoy it, and the storyline is pretty cool. It was definitely an underrated game for the PlayStation 4, so that's why I want to mention it today. Definitely a game that you want to try at least once and just see how you're going. Apparently, once you get over about 20 hours in the game, it starts to really pick up and starts to get really fun. But basically, you're in this main character, zombie sort of apocalypse world, and you can sort of hack and slash your way through sort of those things, but also craft weapons and upgrade your bike along the way. And apparently there's just a really great storyline. So apparently it picks up 20 hours into the game, so definitely a worthwhile pick up if you're in for the long haul for a game. So definitely Days Gone. Give it a look at. See if you like it. Next one, Ghost of Tsushima. This is the PlayStation 4 version, but I actually have the digital PlayStation 5 version. And man, this is the most beautiful game for the PlayStation 5 and the PlayStation 4. It looks absolutely graphically like impressive. And if you like Japanese games, and if you're into that sort of storyline as a samurai open world sort of game, it is just so sick and I highly recommend it. There's not much more to say apart from that. Apart from you're a samurai, you're in the Mongolian Empire, you've got bad people, you've got good ones on your side, and you sort of just in samurai fights a lot, and you roam around, collect items, you're on a horse, and it's just an absolute amazing adventure, and I've just spent hours just honestly just exploring the beautiful world and not playing much of the storyline. I've just been enjoying, you know, the open world, and it looks absolutely amazing. So if you haven't played Ghost of T yet, definitely pick up Ghost of T. Next one, Demon's Souls. Apparently this game is like one of the most graphically beautiful games, but I haven't played it enough to really enjoy it because, I don't know, when a game challenges me too much, I just sort of give up. So I sort of gave up on Demon's Souls. I don't know, I personally haven't enjoyed it enough. I sort of got up to the point where it was the massive troll, and then you go into like some random place, and then you sort of just stuck there, and you're just like, what do I do from here? So that's sort of where I got up to, which is like just the first part of the game. So I definitely need to just plow through and keep progressing in the game to then recommend the game. So not much for me to talk about with Demon's Souls, but if you like Souls games, apparently this one is really good for you. Next one is the Neo collection. Personally, I just didn't play it that much, and I didn't really enjoy it that much, to be honest. I installed it, I played it, and I just didn't enjoy it as much. I'm really sorry about that. So this game reminded me of Astro's Playroom, and it was a lot more expensive than Astro's Playroom because that was like a free download. But this game, it was alright. Like, it just reminded me of Astro's Playroom, but not as good, to be honest, because Astro's Playroom just uses all the features of your PlayStation 5 controller, while this one still uses most of the features, but definitely not as good as Astro's Playroom. So you might as well just stick to Astro's Playroom. Next one, Ghostwire Tokyo. Used to be a PlayStation 5 exclusive, now it's on Xbox too. So this game, it's alright. I did play a little bit of it and I kind of enjoyed it. It wasn't like the most fantastic game I've played for the PlayStation 5. It's an okay game, to be honest. So it's alright. Like, it was one of the first releases for the PlayStation 5. So the PlayStation 5 exclusives have definitely improved a lot since Ghostwire Tokyo. It's an okay game. I don't really recommend it that much, to be honest. Sonic Frontiers, second last game. So this game is a very like barren, not really an open world, but it's sort of like, it has no sort of, I don't know, you're not really locked to one place. You can roam around all in these areas and stuff like that, but they're all pretty barren areas. Very unique idea for like a Sonic game to be like this. It's kind of like Mario Odyssey, but for Sonic in a way, because it's so open like that. It's in a 3D sort of world, and it's not in that normal Sonic sort of 2D thing, but it's kind of a cool game. Like, people really enjoyed it, and it was alright. Like, I don't really recommend it as much as like some other games, but it's still quite a cool game to check out. The last one, I haven't played enough, but it's Need for Speed Underbound. Basically, this game has really cool effects for like driving. So if you like sort of really cool animated effects in a driving game, a little bit less serious or a little bit less mature than Gran Turismo, and a bit more fast-paced as well than Gran Turismo, then I feel like, you know, Need for Speed Unbound will be for you. Maybe Need for Speed Heat will be a better game, because that sort of really was the antithesis of this sort of project, and it uses sort of the same effects anyway. So check out both of those games for sort of high impact racing games. I used to love like Need for Speed Underground a lot for the PlayStation 2. Well, the things I liked about like Need for Speed was sort of, I don't know, just like customizing the car and then doing like big races against bad guys, and you sort of level up along the way. It was a lot of fun. So I definitely miss that. So if you like Need for Speed stuff, definitely Need for Speed Unbound is for you. But for me, it's an okay game. I didn't play as much as other games, so I can't really give that great of a recommendation for you on that one. So those are all my physicals. So we can now go into all my digital games. So let's go into that. All right, so now we're in my actual PlayStation 5, and the first game that pops up is Red Dead Redemption 2. This game is like so damn good, and I highly recommend it for the PlayStation 5 or your PlayStation 4. Open world cowboy game, like what more else can I say? It's like one of the best games that have ever been released, honestly. So realistic, just like it's open world and everything is so interactive. It's just absolutely amazing. Really great storyline, really great or like open world. just one of the best games ever. So you got to play it. It really is one of the best games ever. And like I mentioned before, I've got Ghost of Tsushima, PlayStation 5, Director's Cut. Looks absolutely amazing. Now this is a PlayStation 4 game, but still so much fun. It's the Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy. Basically, this game, if you like the original Crash Bandicoot on the PlayStation 1 or PlayStation 2, can't say that you won't like this game. It's just all of those games sort of remastered again, and you just go through the exact same challenges that you did, and it's just looks upgraded and really fantastic game. Street Fighter 5, you know, Street Fighter how it is. I'm going to do a comparison soon with the Street Fighter 6. I definitely want to play this game more. Haven't played it enough. GTA 5. I actually only recently downloaded GTA 5, so I don't know like much about this sort of world, but it's definitely, once again, like one of the best games. I played sort of the first part of the storyline, and it's really iconic. Such a great game. Really excited for GTA 6. FIFA 23, man. Like if you look at the amount that I've actually played on this game, it's got the most hours out of any game. I've put 111 hours into this game. It's just the GM mode. Like I've just been playing a lot of GM mode, so I love FIFA, man. So if you haven't played FIFA 23 or yeah, it's just sick. Like just play FIFA, man. Like you'll get a lot of fun out of that. Even Ultimate Team, like that's a lot of fun too. Next one is Bloodborne. So Bloodborne, it's another Souls game and really popular for the PlayStation 4. And I've got on my PlayStation 5 because I wanted to give it a go. And it's okay, like it's quite challenging at first, but the storyline is pretty epic and the world design is really unique. Just one of a kind sort of game. So if you haven't played this game yet, just give it a go. It might be for you, it might not be for you. Next one, Assassin's Creed Origins. So man, I've been playing this one and having a lot of fun. So basically you're in the Egyptian world and you have like the whole map to yourself. It's open world and yeah, you're basically just an assassin in Egypt and it is awesome. Definitely a worthwhile check out. Gran Turismo 7, it's definitely a must-have racing game for anyone who likes racing games. Marvel's Avengers, it's okay. Like it's a good sort of Marvel's game if you like Marvel stuff, but some things that fall short in is sort of like the storyline and some of the base sort of gameplay. It looks awesome and some of the stuff like is really awesome, just like the high impact movements from like the Hulk and stuff like that. It's definitely not the best like Marvel game ever. Like the best one would be like Marvel Ultimate Alliance, definitely for sure. So if they remaster sort of Marvel Ultimate Alliance, I would definitely be down for that sort of thing. Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, highly recommend it. Probably my favorite like PlayStation 5 game ever to be released. So if you haven't played it, definitely give this one a go. It looks amazing, the gameplay is amazing, and so much fun. So I highly recommend it. Returnal, really fast-paced sort of sci-fi game. Man, you guys got to play this game as well. It's really good. Apart from Origins, we've got Odyssey as well. I played it a lot on the Xbox Series X, but that game is awesome. Similar to Origins with it being an open world, but this one's in the Greek islands. Actually more like Odyssey more than Origins at the moment because I played more of Odyssey than Origins. And of course Astro's Playroom, really highly rate this game. Fall Guys is the best sort of free open to play game because it's an online game, but definitely the most fun game. You'll get a lot of fun out of that. And of course, The Last of Us is the last game to talk about. So we have Part 1 and Part 2, both amazing games. So The Last of Us Part 1 is the PlayStation 5 remaster, and The Last of Us Part 2 is the PlayStation 4 version. Both of them absolutely incredible, like the best sort of PlayStation 5 games to come out in the last decade. And Last of Us Part 1 was actually the Game of the Year 2013. So it's really cool to see it being mentioned in this video and we can talk about it. So it was the Game of the Year in 2013 and now it is a decade later and it's still one of the best games for PlayStation 5. Also, I didn't mention Stray, really great game as well. Highly recommend it. So hopefully you guys got some really great game recommendations out of today's video. If you want to like and subscribe, see more content like this, make sure you do so, and I'll see you guys next time.